Hello and welcome back to the Double DSQ, a Formula One podcast with Hayden and Robin. I'm Hayden, that's Robin. My pronouns are she, her. You can find me on TikTok at Hayden's.hyperfixations and on Instagram and Twitter at MCUATD. And my brain worm of the week is the master of tweeting and deleting, Oscar Piastri, because he keeps tagging the wrong people. Not only did he tag the wrong Lego account when he posted the 1000 GP helmet Lego collection, he also tagged the wrong Lego account when he posted about the karting race from Silverstone.
Yeah.
I I love him so dearly. I also, unfortunately, do have to give an honorable mention to the hockey card that I found when cleaning off my bookshelf for Sergei Bobrovsky. Um, for those who don't know in the chat, Bobby was the goalie on the Panthers, led them to three Stanley Cup finals and two Stanley Cups, and he got traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs of all places. I think last week, either last week or the week before, um, which was very, very sad, as I'm sure everyone can imagine for the
My condolences.
thank you for the Panther community. But anyway, Robin, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our lovely listeners?
Yes, hello, I'm Robin. My pronouns are also she, her. You can find me at Forza Rebellion on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Um, Yippee. And my brainworm of the week is the guy at the Lando Monster sh bar, Lando San Monster bar,
There was
who
a
gave
bar? Oh, Monster
the
Bar.
Monster
Okay.
Vibe was where you got the free ones. Who gave me this official Monster logo sticker that you can't buy because I was waiting for the sim because they had like two sim rigs there and we went on the Thursday and there was like obviously nothing to do on the Thursday. So I was waiting for the sim because I wanted to do it. Really bad at it. Weirdly enough, because I was great at this. I was great in the Williams one. Don't know what happened in the 2 days, but whatever. So we were just having a chat because I'd grabbed the Landon Monster cans as well, and he was just like, "Here you go, have a monster." So now I just have like an official Monster logo sticker that you can't buy, and I don't know what to do with it. But he was really nice. They were all really, really nice. So thank you, random Lando Monster Bar employee,
Okay,
for that.
I have a question. I'm raising my hand.
Yes.
First, have you tried the Golden Lando Monster?
Yeah.
Is it different from the regular Monster flavor?
Nope.
Okay, that was all my questions. Thank you for answering.
You are go. I went with my dad, and because it was also the Thursday, obviously they had a load of the gold ones, which is nice and shiny, and right next to me on my desk because I haven't put it anywhere yet. Along with the Valentino Rossi and Oscar can. So I'm just
I want
collecting
the
monster cans
Oscar
at this point.
can.
Um, but yeah, so I got one and my dad got one, and when we went up, um, because I'd gone to Lando store previously and spent too much money. Um, I walked up the steps and there was just a guy leaning on the side of the counter holding the championship can in his hand, and he just kind of looked at me and like cocked his head and like held the can out to me as if like saying, "Do you want this?" And I grinned so wide and so quickly he started laughing at me and then just handed me the can. But my dad got one as well. So we shared his so that I could save mine and not have to open it. But yeah, it does taste exactly the same as
Okay,
the regular one. It's just
that
in a
makes me
shiny
feel
gold
better.
can. Yeah, it's not missing much. It's just in a nice shiny gold can. But yeah, it does. Weirdly enough, though, I enjoyed it more. I don't know if it was like the psychological it's in the championship can that was doing it to me, but I preferred it to or it was just because I was so warm that I was like really grateful for a
Mm,
cold energy drink to keep me going. Because it was like day one and I was already
oof.
tired.
Oh
Um,
goodness.
so I don't know if it was that together, but I did enjoy it a bit more than the normal one. So it was still the same sort of melon, white monster melon flavor. So
Hmm. I
but it
do
was good.
really like that. I do really like that flavor. I'm a big fan of like melon flavored things. And when people were talking about the flavor when it first came out last year, people were like, "Oh, it tastes like melon and citrus." And I was like, Say less. So I was very, very intrigued and was
Mm.
happy to get my hands on it. There was so for the listeners, I go to school in Tallahassee. If you know, you probably know the school I go to. I'm in a master's program though, not undergrad. Let's make that clear.
Hmm.
And there's a mall with an exotic treats slash sweets store that I saw. I can't remember. I think it was on Twitter somewhere where they said they got it there, which is again super random,
Mm.
but it was like right next to a JC Penney and it was one of those like weird pop-up stores that like nobody ever goes into. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went, I got one and then I went back and I got three and an and a Lewis Monster, which
I
I still
want the
haven't.
Lewis one. I
I've
really
all
want it.
I've been there a couple of times. I've only seen the Lewis one once, and I only have one of the Lewis ones. I want to try it so bad, but I have to maintain my
Yeah.
composure.
No.
But Publix carries them now,
Huh.
so I don't have to shell out. You're gonna be so embarrassed. One of those monsters was $12 with import fees. And I bought
What?
the first time it was $12. And then I went back and they were $18 each.
What?
I'm so serious.
The monsters here are like 2 quid.
I know. Because it was imported and they had all like the tariffs and the
Oh
taxes and
my
stuff.
God.
So the ones from Publix are
My
like
condolences.
three.
That's crazy.
Thank you. The ones from Publix are like three, maybe four now. I'm sure they're cheaper. I don't really drink Monster a lot.
No, that's fair.
It's only when there's a Formula One race, and every single time I've had a Lando Monster before a Formula One race, something catastrophic happens. The first time I had the Lando Monster was the morning of Vegas.
Oh,
And then the second time I had one was I believe a couple hours before Australia this year.
oh.
So I don't think I can ever have one again.
I had the Australian lemonade one
Oh,
before No, I think I had it after Australia.
the pseudo Oscar one.
Yeah, the pseudo Oscar one. Because I bought that in Tim Tams because I was like, I need snacks. 'Cause I was doing an all-nighter because it was like 4 in the morning. I was like, I don't want to go to
Hmm.
bed. So I just Australia maxed and then Mr. Australia himself did not finish the race, did not start the race. So, Anyway,
Ouch.
that's our brainworms.
I have a bonus brainworm.
I go
So,
for it.
also for the listeners, I have a Formula One store by my house. Shout out to Sawgrass Mills. And
Hell
sometimes
yeah.
they just get like random backstock from I don't know how they get their stock in because they had the Monaco hat in Miami, so like a month and a half beforehand, and they
Yeah.
didn't have like the Spain hat for Williams, but they still had hats from Singapore and Silverstone last year and Abu Dhabi last year and like a bunch of old ones. But for the wonderful Robin, I got the 2023. Wait, sorry, the lighting is really bad right now. The 2023 Charles Leclerc Monaco hat with the diamonds. I originally thought this was 2024, but it's not. It's
No.
2023.
Yeah.
And this lovely, like, flower one from Mexico 2023. I believe these were both discounted because,
They
again,
were.
they're old in the scheme of
That was
things.
why I got them and
I
paid you
I have
because
to
they
go
were so
back
cheap.
and, yeah, they were pretty cheap compared to everything else because these new are probably like, yeah, I want to see if do they have the original
They
price
would have
tag?
been because they're
I'm sure.
special, I think. Well, I say that Lewis's special one's only 45 from this year for Silverstone.
Huh.
Except it was
This
like 20 quid more expensive at track, and I was like,
Oh, see, that's what happened at Miami.
daylight robbery.
All of the hats, dude, the Miami hat was, I think it was, oh, what was it? I think it was like $100 at the F1 store, and at the track it was $210. I took
That's
a
ridiculous.
picture. I took a picture because I could not believe it. But
That's insane. Yeah.
it's fun having an F1 store by my house because also
Yes.
they have Gabby's like official fireproofs from Miami this year. Wait, I have to show you a picture. I I can't remember if I showed you a picture or not, but I
I
definitely
don't
took
think
one.
you did. That's crazy. But yeah, no, Hayden told me that they had this like massive sale of like old
It
past
was
merch. And she
it
was
was
like, they
really
have Ferrari
tempting.
caps. And I was like, hello. If I send you money, will you buy them?
And I did. One thing
Yeah.
about this F1 store is that not only does it have one of Valtteri's Alfa Romeo show cars, but this is like official.
What?
I have no idea. I have no idea how
God, that
this
suit's
store.
bad.
Yeah. I don't like the original like concept that they had was pretty cool, but they look like they're wearing pants.
They do just look like they ran out of fabric and decided to change halfway through rather than buy some more.
I like the quote unquote lava color that Audi has.
Yes.
That's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
kind of an unpopular opinion.
No, I
But
like
it's
that color.
why do
Yeah.
they look like they're wearing pants?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay, also, I don't have a picture of it, but they have like a full-scale Lando helmet, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this is official or like a recent remake, but I think they have a Michael Schumacher helmet.
What? Can I come to Florida?
If you
Just
want.
to come see, just to come see the F1 store.
If you want,
And
because
you,
they
I
have,
suppose.
yeah. Yeah, I guess. This honestly, this store is so random. It's just it's one of I think a couple of locations, and it's called Racing Miami, but it's not Miami. It's like Racing Sunrise. It's like literally right across the street from where the Panthers play, if you're curious. Shout out to the
Hmm.
Sawgrass Mills Mall. But
Yeah.
that's it's very random having a Formula One car, even if it is a show car, about 10 minutes from your house.
Yeah. I mean, I could say
Oh,
the
I
same
guess you
thing
could
with
say the
the
same.
yeah with the house battery. Yeah. Anyway, tangent brainworms aside,
Yes.
we kind of don't have news. I want to touch on one thing that happened today, literally like an hour and a half ago. Forza Italy, Yannick Sinner won Wimbledon once again. My go. And also, we've had two Italian weeks in a row. I'd like to make it a
Oh
third.
yeah.
Because, Silverstone, best day ever. And then today, Wimbledon. So,
Italian
Italy
accent.
seem to be doing well in England currently.
Oh yeah. Wait.
So, that I just wanted to touch on that. I don't know of any actual news. Everything lately has just been pure speculation
Oh
and
my
has
God. And
been
it's
driving the
driving me
entire Formula
up.
One community insane.
It's driving me up the wall. I can't even I've had to like set limits on my screen time for Twitter, X, TikTok, whatever you want to call it. It has been driving me literally insane.
For the listeners who aren't aware, which I'd be quite shocked, is Max hasn't said yet if he is or isn't staying with Red Bull. So the amount of conspiracies
Oh
and
my
rumors that have come out of
gosh.
this team in the last 2, 3 weeks has been ridiculous. And lately, it has once again been Oscar filling in that seat. And as of Saturday, Oliver Behrman filling that seat.
What is happening?
I I don't
Oh
know.
my
See, this is the thing.
goodness.
I have full faith in both of those drivers to be able to do well in any car. Specifically Ollie, like he's been driving that Haas to places it should not have been.
Yeah. And
Um,
outperforming his like almost decade-long rookie or
oh
decade-long veteran teammate.
yes, he's been ridiculously good in that Haas in ways that he should not have been in that Haas. So I have full faith that if that did end up being true, because it came from Sky Sports, I think they were just speculating on who could possibly be free to go into that seat. Um,
Is his contract up at the end of this year or next year?
I don't know. I feel like maybe this year. Because I think with the way that they've been doing it, might have been like one plus
Oh
contracts like they
yeah.
kind of do.
Mhm.
So I have like full faith that Ollie would be fine in Red Bull. I don't have faith in Red Bull being able to be Red Bull if Max left.
No. That we've talked about this at length,
Oh, we
especially
have.
last episode.
Yeah.
Red Bull has just been hemorrhaging people since last year.
Yep.
For one reason or another, basically everybody is leaving. And I think the kind of linchpin in this whole Red Bull, not really an era, because it's been kind of I guess era, because you had like early 2010s and then it kind of shifted into where they are now in like 2020, 2021. But this whole
Yeah,
kind of the linchpin of this Red Bull era of quote unquote dominance, whatever you want to call it, the real linchpin in that was GP leaving to McLaren. And he's
yeah,
eventually going to become race director, team principal, all the above.
yes.
So now they are stuck between a rock and a hard place because they
Hmm.
can't keep people. Almost every single major figure in the garage. I almost said the garage. Who am I becoming? My God. In the garage, at the factory, just like logistics wise, everybody has either left or have announced their plans to leave. And honestly, there really isn't a lot that's keeping Max at Red Bull. And I wouldn't be surprised this also gets into like the speculation thing of like where's he gonna go after this? Is he gonna like kind of do what Fernando did and I think it was 2018, 2019, 2020, some of those years I'm
Hmm.
blanking right now. But is he gonna take like a hiatus, do endurance racing, GT3, Nürburgring, etc., etc. The list goes on, and then come back
Yeah.
when they make the full switch to V8s? Is Red Bull even still gonna be in the sport when they switch to V8s? That's gonna be 25 years? 2030? Yeah, 2030, 2031. Um, it's I mean, honestly, it's a mystery. It just depends on if they can entice more people, keep that
Hmm.
sponsorship going because they own a lot of things. Okay, not only do they own this
They,
a sister team, they own a freaking circuit. Like
yeah,
I
no,
don't
they
know.
own a lot.
Yeah, so I don't know if like the equity in that is really like dropping. One piece of Red Bull that is not dropping though is V carb, and I'm sure we'll talk about them later.
Mm,
But V carb has been consistently strong this entire season, which is a lot more than
yeah.
Red Bull. Surprisingly enough, the quote unquote mother
It
team can
is,
say.
it is strange to see a like child sister team do better than the parent
Comparatively.
team comparatively. Yeah, in one season, because obviously, yes, Max has been on the podium. Max has been up in like P4, P5 when his
But
car
so has
hasn't broken
Liam.
down. But so has Liam, and he's been getting further up as well. Like their Silverstone was their best result this season, was it not? Like for
No,
both
I think it was
drivers?
Monaco. I think Monaco because it was P5, P6. Was it?
Ah, was it? I don't know.
I think it
It's
was.
if not the best, it's one of the best
Hmm.
of this season that they've managed to pull together, which like they are, I think, like 2 points behind Alpine. Are they ahead of Alpine or behind Alpine?
Let me check.
Because they're gonna end up best of the rest, I
Hmm.
think.
I agree.
Easy.
Results,
They're
teams.
1 point behind Alpine currently. 1 point in it for between fifth and sixth. So
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
are, and then it's a very big jump to Haas.
It's
59 to
30,
21.
something like
That's a
30, 40 points.
Yeah, it's a solid jump. So they're doing incredibly well, and I'm very proud of them. Like I know them personally, which I don't, but
My close personal friends
my
Liam
close,
Lawson and Arvid Lindblad.
yeah, exactly, exactly. But yeah, it is baffling that
It's
whatever's
I
happening behind the scenes in Red Bull is kind of transferring to the car.
it's
In
crumbling.
Yeah, it's just not doing well. So
All that to say.
yes, all that to say, constant speculation, constant rumors. No one quite knows what's
Oh.
happening because Max hasn't said anything yet. He hasn't confirmed nor denied that he's with Red Bull next year. Uh, I people are like there's suggestions that the rumors about Ollie going are to put pressure on Ferrari, to put pressure on Red Bull, to just put pressure on everyone basically to sort of figure out their teams because Ferrari aren't changing at least until the end of next year. 100%,
No.
that's not happening.
Lewis's
I
performance is too good right now. If he were
yeah,
doing worse, then I would think maybe they could cut him loose, but I
yeah,
mean,
or
he
he would
won.
retire.
Yeah, either that or I mean he won their first race in almost 2 years.
Yeah,
Literally like less than a month ago. Like he's not going anywhere
Yeah,
next year, guys.
he's not going anywhere. Charles is not going anywhere for ever at this point. I do think he's probably just signed a lifetime contract and they just keep announcing every couple of years that he's just not going anywhere. Wouldn't be surprised. Um, but yeah, so Ferrari at lockdown. Red Bull will be unless Max does decide to go, which
To go somewhere.
I don't know if it's hard to kind of guess if he will because his performance has been his performance because it's Max has been incredible, obviously. With the car that he's been given.
He's been
Because
consistently outperforming the car the entire season when
oh
it's not
yeah.
trying to kill him.
Yeah, when it's not trying to put him into oh my God. Sorry, that's just reminded me of a piece of news that we actually do need to cover. So when it's not trying to put him in the wall,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's he has been putting it places where it shouldn't be. Because it should be where Isaac has been, which is like
Hmm.
P6, P7, that kind of midfield, higher midfield. Don't shush. That kind of higher midfield area is where the car should be. So Max putting it on the podium, putting it in P4, putting it in P5, like he's doing a max basically. He's driving it to the max. So I
That's a
wouldn't
really good slogan. Wait.
yeah. I don't think I came up with that. I think other people I think someone on Sky has probably said it before. But um so I like but his performance has been so up and down because the car's been so up and down that it's kind of really, really difficult to pinpoint if he is gonna leave because he's had great weekends that he's really enjoyed. He's had weekends that he's not wanted to talk about anything and has threatened retirement in not as many words. So it is gonna be by the time silly season, if it happens to be silly season comes around, whether he says I'm out or you're stuck with me. So all of this speculation is everyone kind of just going, what if, what if, what if, and it's just making everyone insane because they're just pulling drivers out of a hat at this point of like who's gonna
They're like
be
doing the wheel and then whoever it lands on, that's whatever
yeah,
rumor is
who's gonna
gonna
be the
start.
gimmick for the week? And it currently is Oliver Behrman. So, you know, but anyway, the other piece of news that I reminded myself of is the rear Macarena wing.
Yep.
Because the FIA are annoying me again. Walk around the kitchen. Because so Max's car has tried to kill him twice at this point with this rear wing. Because although it's been closed every time he's gone off track, I think it probably closed too slowly. So it kind of left him
Mm.
with that drag reduction that's kind of put him off kilter. Because of this, the FIA are now investigating the Macarena wing
Even further than they were before.
even further than they were before on both Red Bull, which I understand because it is turning the car into a bit of a death trap, and Ferrari, which hasn't had any problems with their rear wing. So I'm kind of just like, the problem isn't the innovation, it's the implementation of said innovation. Because Ferrari have had no issues. They tested it, they pulled it back, they brought it back in for what was it, Miami? I think that was the first one.
Either that or Canada. Maybe
Yeah,
it was Miami.
I think it was Miami. So they tested it a couple of times, removed it, didn't use it in the race. And then once they'd actually tested it and figured out that it worked and it did what they wanted it to do and it was safe, they implemented it fully. Red Bull then just kind of appeared
With
with
one.
with one, which is double the size of Ferraris, which I think might also
Yeah, it
be
was like
causing an issue.
really. Hmm.
That's kind of what I'm like in my head because they do it opens less. It goes the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
way.
yeah.
It doesn't do the full 180, it does
Yeah.
like a 90,
Like a
but like up. Um and it's about double the size of Ferraris, which might genuinely be part of the issue because it has more to cover when it closes. So
mhm.
you have to close it sooner to get it to be where it needs to be for the corner, which I
Yeah.
think is a manual button that the drivers press to open it
Hmm.
that way. Obviously, DRS, I think, might have been as well. I don't
Yeah.
really know the ins and outs of it, but I think it might be manual button for them. So but what's annoying me is that the FIA are investigating Ferrari, who have had no issues with said Macarena wing, and then the Max Arena wing comes in and puts said man into the wall twice. And now the FIA are like, maybe this innovation that we said was fine and we didn't have any issues with is actually not great and we should ban it. Nothing's happened. I think Ferrari have fought back and been like, look, this isn't our problem. This is Red Bull's problem. Go talk to them about it. Because there was another thing of the diffuser or something that Mercedes were using that Ferrari
Yeah, and
went
then it got
to
banned.
the FIA and they said no. Then Mercedes went to the FIA and they said yes. So Ferrari were like, hang on a minute, when they noticed it, and we were like, you said no. Why is it one rule for us and another rule for them? So I
Mm.
think it might just, I do kind of, not to be tinfoil hat moment, but I do kind of think the FIA have a vendetta against Ferrari at this point. But she says in her 16 t-shirt. Um, but yeah, so nothing's come of that investigation yet.
One other piece of bonus, when you said silly season, that reminded me.
Mm.
One kind of bonus silly season drama was this week, where I guess this is like again an honorable mention, but IndyCar, Scott Dixon is
Oh yeah.
moving from Chip Ganassi Racing to McLaren, which if you don't watch IndyCar, Chip or not Chip Ganassi, Scott Dixon has been driving with Chip Ganassi for I think just over or almost 20 years. 20 years.
Oh my
That
God.
is literally 2 decades. He's won championships with them. He's won an Indy 500 with them. Like he has been there with them for, again, 20 years. Now, Will Buxton, who, let's remember, asterisk, he is now an IndyCar broadcaster, commentator, whatever you want to call him.
Yep.
He posted something that was hinting at Scott Dixon leaving Chip Ganassi.
Hmm.
Um, and he because he is sort of like tangentially F1 related, everyone thought
You say that. He's literally one of the main guys in Drive to Survive. Like, I
that's
understand
true.
why it would be
That's true.
the Formula One side of the Twitter sphere thinking, oh,
Yes.
it's about us.
Yes. He tweeted out something that was like, "Oh, if this career move is what I think it is paramount to Lewis leaving Mercedes and going to Ferrari." Because it is. In a way, it's even bigger because
Yeah.
he was there for about 13, 15 more years than Lewis was at Mercedes. Um, he everybody got mad at him because he was doing his job, and I do see your point.
Yeah.
But there was another guy who was an
See,
F1
everyone that jumped on the
guy.
bandwagon.
They thought it was F1 related, and then it
Yeah.
started like snowballing, but it was not F1 related, so everyone got mad. And then
Yep.
that news was that Scott Dixon is moving to McLaren, Aero McLaren, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
with Felix Rosenqvist, Indy 500 winner from this year, who had left the team a couple years ago to go to Meyer Shank Racing. That's besides the point.
Mm.
But everyone got so mad at Will
Yeah.
Buxton for doing part of his job, and it was maddening.
Yeah.
Especially like the guys who were trying to piggyback off of what he was saying and try to make it about F1. But like, for context, the rumor that Dixon had not only left Chip Ganassi Racing, but was moving to Aero McLaren has been circulating for about 2 weeks. IndyCar's terrible about secrets, kind of like Formula One, and it kind of upsets me because we can't be surprised anymore, but that's another conversation.
Yep.
It's been like, it's been circulating for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. I don't know. It just upsets me. I am gonna be so grateful for the summer break because I can't deal with any more discourse and anybody else being mad. I can't.
You say this, but the summer break is probably going to make it worse.
Oh God. Last year,
Because
at least.
we have a month of no race, so everyone's going to be doing everything else
Okay,
except talking about the racing.
one thing I will say is that I don't have to hear about papaya rules over this summer break. And
True.
that is like
Very true.
makes me feel so much better.
This is very true.
Because ugh, my God, that last year was terrible. After Monza, oh my God, I
Mm.
was so I was I was unpacking my apartment with my mom. I had the race on my phone. I was shaking from rage so badly. when they told Oscar to switch places. I had to walk around the halls of my apartment complex for an hour. I left my phone in my room, or I left my phone in my apartment. I left my headphones in my apartment. I literally was just walking around aimlessly because I had to calm down and I got so angry.
Yeah,
All
I
that
don't blame you.
aside,
That was,
yeah, it was
but yeah,
insane.
summer break is either going to be everyone's going to calm down, which never happens, or
No.
every rumor is going to ramp up tenfold. So I
Oh,
can't wait. But
it made me miserable.
yeah,
Oh
that's
my God.
all of the news that I have. I don't think there's not really been anything because everything again has just been
Thank God.
speculation. The only bit has been like IndyCar.
Hmm.
Um, so do you want to talk about the British Grand Prix?
Why don't we?
I will start because I
Yes.
went.
One of us was there and it was not me.
Yeah, it was me, and it was the best weekend of my life, and I'm so serious about that. Um, I have written some notes so I don't forget to talk about things because a lot happened.
Hmm.
Huge. Um, the Tuesday before, this is just quick preface, I did go to the Williams pop-up in London with a friend of the pod, Belle. Yippee! And it was great. We got to do the reaction time wall, which I beat my personal best from Barcelona, so I'll take it. And they had the sim rig, and I got a poster of Alex Albon's eyes. It's a really good poster. But it's basically just his eye and his helmet. It's great. Um, and yeah, they had the Silverstone merch, which I wasn't a massive fan of. It felt kind of boring. The car, if you didn't know that it was a special livery, you would not have noticed the special livery.
When they posted it, I genuinely had no idea what they had changed about it until
Yeah,
someone like zoomed in and took a screenshot of it.
yeah, it didn't look much better in person.
And even then, it just looked like fireworks. Honestly, it looked like
Yeah,
fireworks over the 4th of July.
yeah, it did. It really did. So that it was fun to see the car though. I do like looking at the cars. Like they're really pretty.
Hmm.
Um, but I also managed to grab a copy of the Silverstone exclusive Marvel X Williams
Friend of the
comic.
pod!
And yeah, I haven't actually read this yet. All I know is that Williams wins the race, and I'm just like, that's how you can tell it's an alternate universe because they ain't doing that right now. But yeah, it's got Alex and Carlos and Doctor Doom and Iron Man on the front because why not? So I really like this comic. I really like this comic, and yeah, it was actually decent. Well, it was expensive for a comic, but
Wasn't it like $15?
probably it was 10 quid, so probably about 15
Oh
bucks.
my God, that's
I know
insane.
it's a lot for a comic, but I was also like,
That's like the amount I would pay for a trade paperback, like the little,
yeah,
like the five.
yeah,
That $15
yeah,
for a single issue, like 24 pages, is crazy.
yeah, it was a lot of money, but you know what? I got it anyway.
I know
Um,
those sponsor responsibilities are expensive, but guys.
yeah, I know. It's crazy, especially with Marvel though. But yeah, Iron Man was also there
Yeah.
again,
Oh, he was.
which was fun. He was just in the corner. It was the same one from Barcelona.
Mm.
So that was the Tuesday before, and then had a day break, and then we went for all 4 days of Silverstone. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thursday, obviously nothing is on. It's media day. They're all just kind of there. We did have inner track. I because of how we were getting in,
Wait,
because we were getting.
for the listeners, what's the difference between inner track, outer track?
Oh, okay. So inner track, outer track is inner track is where all the drivers come in. It's by the paddock,
Mm.
basically. So that's where fan forecourt is. It's where people meet the drivers when they're coming in, get signatures, all of that sort of stuff.
Mm.
When you see
Okay.
the cars, Charles and Ollie's Ferraris, I want them. They're so gorgeous. Ollie showed up in a Ferrari Dino, and oh my God, it's the most gorgeous car I've ever seen in my life. Um, that's beside the point. So inner track is kind of where all of that happens. They do some media things. They had the Lego cars, the Lego bumper cars that they raced in for the drivers parade. So that was fun to see, kind of up close. Um, I did manage to see Carlos. Had the same level of interaction with Carlos that I did with Charles in Barcelona, whereas he was like there
Mm.
in front of me, like 2 feet away, and
And
I
then he
have a photo of
turned,
him.
like
And then he
right
turned
as he
around.
got to you.
Yeah.
Oof.
But that was fun. And then Crofty showed up at the paddock entrance bit and mentioned that they were doing a fish and chip van filming with Ollie, Arvid, Lando, and George. So 4 out of 5 Brits, obviously. Um, so we were like, okay, that's cool. I then promptly forgot about it. And when we were looking, we had lunch, we were looking around. And then we walked back and we just so happened to walk past the fish and chip van, but on the backside of it so we could see in and we saw the crowd and I saw the Sky Sports signs and I saw Crofty and Simon Lazenby and I was like, oh yeah, that's happening. So we hung out there for a bit um and watched them film. I got some great photos of Lando and George because those two went in first. Lando was not having a good time with the fish, I will tell you that much. It was really funny. And then they left, and then I got managed to get closer for Ollie and Arvid because a bunch of people also turned around and left. And that was also really, really fun. Um, and then I got Crofty to sign my hat. So I now have a Crofty signature on my Ferrari cap, just for the viewers. So that was fun because I was like, why the hell not? And then I also got a photo with him because I ended up getting even closer by the time they left. And I tried to get an Ollie signature, but it didn't work out. But it's fine. I already have one, so you know. I
Aura.
have 4 signed caps, and only one of those signatures is one of my like top drivers.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever. Oh well, because I'm getting onto the fourth one shortly. But we then, oh, I also in that made it onto Haas's Instagram again because the admin filmed the crowd, and I am smack bang in the middle
You're
holding
on
my
the
phone up.
Jumbotron.
I am on the Jumbotron
Again.
cheesing in 4K again, holding my phone up and taking videos and pictures of these guys. Like, I can't be doing this. I can't keep doing this. Haas keep airing me out, and I'm like, guys, please. So that was done. It was really, really funny. It was great. Got to eat fish and chips made by George Russell. So
That's crazy.
that was fun. Yeah. And then we basically spent the rest of the day walking around the track, finding all the merch places. We went to Lando stand, which was the opposite side of the track to where we were sat.
Oof.
I did a lot of walking between Luffield Corner and Lando stand, I'll tell you that much. But we went to that. I went to one of the Ferrari stores. We went to Lewis's pop-up, which was really hard to find. We had to ask one of the race makers where it was because it was outside the Luffield entrance. But
Mm.
the way they had been advertising it was they were saying gate 1. So I was like,
Oh.
literally, which one is gate 1? Because they all just have the names. Like they're all Abbey, Brooklands, Luffields, Stowe.
Oh.
They're all just the names. And I think they have the numbers in tiny in the little corners. And I was like, literally, where is this gate? So we had to ask someone. But we managed to find it. It was really cool. I loved his plus 44 merch. There was a top that was it looked like an undershirt and an overshirt. It was sewn together, so it was just the sleeves that were longer.
Mm.
But it's a black t-shirt over white sleeves, and it's got all like his patches and stuff on it, and it's literally me to a T. So I was like, I bought that instantly, and another cap. I have too many caps. I'm one
Oh.
person and I have like 10 caps.
There's
Um,
something about becoming a Formula One fan that just it turns you into a hat person.
it's
I've
so
experienced this as
bad.
well.
I have spent so much money on caps, it's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, and I have 2 more coming from you at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're gonna go. On my door. So yeah, Lando's store was really, really cool. I did buy fluoro merch.
I saw you have the jersey.
Yeah, I have the Lando Stan jersey, and was that it? No, I got his Silverstone t-shirt as well, like the
That
Silverstone
Silverstone
Pacific.
t-shirt is
Hmm.
so freaking cool.
It's so nice. So I got that as well. I was umming and ahhing between the black jersey and the fluoro jersey, and then I went, nah, screw it, I'll go fluoro. So now I glow when I wear that. Um, and then yeah, the Monster Bar got the free gold cans, simulations, Monster sticker. That was all just shopping day, basically,
Mm.
because it was like a day where had nothing else to do, and I spent a ridiculous amount of money. And I'm calling my dad out because I told him prior to the weekend that he was supposed to stop me from spending a ridiculous amount of money, and then he endorsed every single purchase that I made. And I was like, "You are doing a terrible job,
It
but
really
thank
do
you."
be your own.
It really do be. So yeah, that was Thursday. Um, and then Friday was obviously free practice and sprint quali. So that was really fun. We got there early-ish, like 7:40, I think, and I beelined for the main stage because I wanted to
Mm.
see the fan forum driver interviews again. And I got to like the second row. I think my
Wow.
sign got onto the Jumbotron a couple of times, which I will show for the viewers and for the listeners. On one side, it's the Italian flag with the Ferrari logo stuck on it, and then the other side says "Mind if a Brit gets a little Italian with it." And I was very proud of that. And I did get onto the like stage Jumbotron a couple of times, which was fun. So yeah, the fan forums on the Friday was Charles and Lewis. They were separate. I don't know why. I'm maybe thinking that because it was Lewis's home race, but also
Mm.
the other Brits weren't separate, so I don't know what happened there. But they might have just had clashing schedules. I don't know. But they were separate. And then it was Red Bull, Alpine, and Haas. Alpine they threw out caps at the end of it. And my dad did manage to catch one, which is
Oh my
signed by both, yes,
God!
which is signed by both
I had
Franco
no idea
and
about
Pierre
this.
Gasly. Yeah, so I have a signed Alpine cap,
Oh my
which is actually
God!
a really nice cap. My dad wore it on the Sunday, but I haven't worn it yet. So yeah, he managed to catch that, which was crazy. I didn't realize he had until he tapped me on the shoulder and was like, "Here you go," and I was like, "Oh, thank you." So that was fun. And then Ollie, I got to see his helmet reveal in person, which was
Ooh.
incredible. I gasped so loudly. I was filming it and you can just hear me go when he pulled it out of the bag. So that was a really nice helmet. I did like his Silverstone helmet. That was really, really good. It's a shame that he had the race that he did.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so that was really fun. Obviously, the Red Bull, Ferrari, I love all of them. Max was really funny because they made them do games. Charles's one was they asked him who he'd put on the grid in a five-a-side team. He then named six drivers. Well, he named five drivers and then plus himself, so six drivers. He has no knowledge on the football, and it's very funny. Um, so that was what he did. I don't remember who he named now. I know he named Carlos and Pierre, I think. The two that I think he named. Um, Pierre, obviously. But then Red Bull, they were asking them to guess what British slang meant. And Max was so funny because he just judged all of them. Because he was like, why would you say that when you can just say the other thing? Um, and at one point, I think the phrase was the bee's knees, which means if you don't know like
Yeah.
the best, right? Because they were saying it's like it's some would say it was you. So then he really smugly went the best, and everyone cheered him because um but I think it might have been that one or it was another one. But they asked him how he didn't know it, and then he just looked at them with the funniest look on his face, and then went, "I'm not British, am I?" I was like, "Tell him again, King." Like it was so funny. Because Isaac also had no idea what any of them were. Lewis, someone threw him a little Roscoe plush, which was really,
Oh.
really cute. And Alpine, they made them play football, and the balls went everywhere except the goal. And then I think it was either, I don't, one of them kept hitting a photographer by
Oh my
accident
God.
with a
That's so
football.
mean.
So it wasn't on purpose, but they kept going so far wide that they just hit people. So yeah, that was funny. And then Haas, they made them decorate cakes. And then Ollie tilted his up to show everyone, and then everything fell off the cake. And then he did it again to show the camera and almost dropped the whole cake. So that was really chaotic. But it was so funny, and I'm really glad I went for
He
it.
is like if a baby giraffe wished to become human.
I love him. He is so silly. Yeah. So that was Friday. And then Saturday was the sprint, which was it was fun to see in person. I prefer seeing sprints in person than I
Yeah,
do
I would
on
agree with
TV.
that. Watching Miami, I remember watching the sprint last year and being like, okay,
Yeah.
but watching it in person is very different from
Yeah, because it
watching
gives
it
you
like on
more
TV.
on track racing. Like I
Yeah.
get why they do it, but it only really works if you go and see the race, I think. So
Yeah.
I don't know why they keep wanting to add more. I think we have a good number. Do not add more. But
No,
like
please no.
when you go and you actually witness a sprint, you're like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I get it
But
now.
when you are just watching on TV or your laptop or whatever, you're like, okay. It's just, yeah. So I did enjoy watching that, and then it was obviously qualifying, which was great. Qualifying was great.
Maybe
Watching
for you.
Charles. Well, yeah. I had a great weekend. I had a
Oh,
fantastic
you had a
weekend, I
great
will tell you
weekend.
that. So yeah, it was sprint and quali, which yeah was fun, and then we went back to the fan forum because it was literally everybody else except Mercedes, who was supposed to be on Saturday, but ended up going out on Friday evening for some reason. I don't know why
Mm.
they did that, but they just without warning switched to the Friday. So I didn't get to see them, but I saw everybody else. Saw um Williams, McLaren, V-Carb,
Oh, my
Cadillac.
Shayla.
Yeah.
My Shayla.
Um, it was really fun to see all of them, and the cheers that Arvid got as well was so nice because
He's so baby goat.
he's so baby go, and but the welcome that he got from the British crowd was just phenomenal. Um, I think he had a great weekend, as he should,
Oh, he
for his
definitely
first
did.
home race like that. His
Mm-hmm.
best result in his home race as well, because I don't think
Wow.
he's ever gotten better than FP7. Um, so that was really really fun. And then Sunday. Oh, I also met up with friends
We love
Friday. We love
friends.
friends. Shout out Dia, Nat, and Naz, who I hung out with Dia for most of the weekend, and then Nat and Naz we saw on Saturday because they went. Um, so yeah, that was Saturday, and then Sunday we watched all of the racing. So F1 Academy, F3, F2,
I'm
F1.
sorry, not to interrupt you. I am still so freaking mad that they moved F1 Academy from Miami this year and instead they moved it to Canada. I am so freaking mad because I love F1 Academy. I love all the drivers.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of F1 Academy, Kiara Bodig, 16 years old, on
Right?
pole position for her first ever F1 Academy race.
Yes.
In
And then P2.
absolute insanity in like the feature race. What?
Yeah. And then she got P2 in the
Absolutely
feature race. Like
incredible.
that is phenomenal.
Incredible.
She's definitely gonna be there next year. 100%.
Absolutely.
So that was really fun to see that and also home race win. Um
Alicia, my
for
other goat.
Alicia. Yeah, love her. So that was really, really good. And then F3, I kind of don't really follow, so I don't really know anyone, but it was
All
still
I
fun to
know
see.
is, yeah, all I know is Ugo Chuku, I believe, was on the podium, and he is so freaking tall.
Yes, weirdly tall. And then F2 watched that was genuinely there was a group of Bulgarian Red Bull fans like like a few seats away from us cheering every single time Nicholas Solov came round
Good for
our
him,
corner, and it was
honestly.
fantastic. It was such a vibe, and there was a photographer down by the track that turned around at one point and got them to start cheering again and took a picture of them. So I really want to
Aw,
I want to know where that picture ended up. But they were so sweet, and then he won, so I was like so happy for them. I'm pretty sure he overtook in front of us for the win, or it was like going
F2,
into it.
yeah.
Yeah.
F2 races always have a good like amount of overtakes. I remember for the feature race in
Mm.
Miami, there was one where they went like three wide in a corner. I have chills just thinking about it. Like our one thing about races with support series is that everyone gets so into the racing, even if it isn't Formula One or like the actual cars that we're there to see. Our grandstand at Miami was super, super supportive of
Yeah,
F2. Everyone was like gasping, like, "Oh!" Like
yeah.
it was just really fun to see. And I think obviously they do that for a reason, but it's even greater to see with like F1 Academy and Formula 2, even if Colton Hurd
Mm.
had a bad weekend. But
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, it's really nice to see how much support the support series get from even just like spur of the moment being there.
Yeah, no, it was really good. I'm glad I sort of stayed there and watched them. Basically didn't move from my grandstand for most of Sunday
Mm,
morning.
yeah.
So that was really good. Lovefield Corner was a great corner to be at. Shout out my dad for getting us those tickets because I watched Lewis overtake George twice. And it was great. And yeah, so we will go on to race shortly. I have just, it was so dusty. I thought Barcelona was bad. Silverstone was somehow worse.
Wow.
Yeah, it was ridiculously dusty because it just wasn't. I feel like the only two climates at Silverstone is either dust or mud, depending
Yeah.
on like the weather. So it was so dusty. I did about 65,500 steps across the weekend because I did like 20,000 on the Thursday alone,
Oh
just
my
walking
God.
back and forth through the track.
How many miles is that? Hold on. Wait, keep going.
I want it. Yeah.
I'm gonna calculate.
Yeah, I did almost 20K steps on the Thursday after the race, which was fantastic. And we will properly talk about it. But my dad recorded the start and
You you
how much?
walked either 26 to 32 and a half miles. I will do that to kilometers for the Europeans in the chat.
That's
Wait.
crazy. Oh my
In
God.
non-freedom units, 52.3 kilometers. That's crazy, Robin.
Most of that, I am so serious, was just walking to Lando stand. Was just walking across to the other side of the track. It was ridiculous, but we did track walk as well. We did track
I'm so
invasion a bit
jealous.
on the Sunday. I missed the Ferrari celebrations by like 10 minutes, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
But now at least if I go again, I know which gate to go in because I didn't know where I
mm,
was really going. We went in on Nuffield and got a few more marbles,
yay.
which
Wait,
I've put
where's
in a
mine?
tin at the moment. And
I'm gonna look for
then
mine.
we went back because it was
Oh,
blocked off after so far, and then walked the whole way around. And you can only get to the pits or like to Hamilton Straight from Vale, which other end of the track because it's literally next to the Lando stand. So I think if I'd known to go there, I would have been able to be there for the celebrations. So now I know if I go again and they win again, or whoever, if I like someone and they win again, then have you lost your marbles?
I
Wait.
think so. I'm gonna be so upset. Oh wait, no,
No.
I found them.
Oh, okay.
Yay!
Yay.
Yay for
Good.
tire marbles.
Yay for time marbles. Um, but yeah, so if we talk about, so we just get into the race and our thoughts and
Yes.
feelings and whatever, and I'll just sort of drop
Yes.
in things. So the oh, do you want to talk about the sprint? I don't really remember the sprint. I'm gonna be so for real.
No, I don't even think I watched it.
I think it was
Oh, I know
pretty.
why I didn't watch it. I was in the pool
Oh
getting
yeah,
daytime tipsy because it was the 4th of July.
it was the 4th of July. Yes.
Yes,
I
yes.
will just say the top eight for the sprint. It was Kimi Antonelli, Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris, George Russell, Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, and Liam Lawson, who has still managed to score in I think every session,
Wow.
which is crazy. Good for him.
Yeah.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
He is, yeah, I do think I like him, which I didn't think I'd say this last year, but
He is
hey ho.
enchanting himself to
He
me,
has enchanted, yeah.
unfortunately.
So, and there was a stat on the Saturday that I think was probably from one like Daniel, the Dan
Oh,
guy
the
or
Daniel
whatever.
Valente guy, the
Yeah, Daniel
Jinxer.
Valente. Yeah, who said the person who's won the sprint has not won the race. And lo and behold, Kimi Antonelli
Oh.
did not win the race and didn't even get points in the race.
Oh,
So, yeah, I don't
that
remember
was really
much
funny.
about what happened in the sprint. It was fun to watch, as I said, in person. So we should talk about the uh race, and I will do the qualifying first because it was Kimi Antonelli, Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, Isaac Hadjar, Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, Arvid Lindblad, and Liam Lawson. Again, ninth and 10th for Racing Bulls. They have been
Hmm.
consistently chilling at that sort of back end of the points, which is still really good.
Hmm.
Because it's been both of them. So they've been consistently getting like 3 points
Wow.
every race, except for last Sunday where they got way more than that. And then the actual race result. Best day of my life. Charles Leclerc, my goat, won Silverstone, and I have never cried so loudly. I'm so serious. I, the ladies, because obviously it finished behind the safety car, which we will get to,
Hmm.
but it did finish behind the safety car. And the second that I noticed, why is my thing doing this? Okay. The second that I noticed that it was going to finish behind the safety car. It took me a few seconds before the dam broke and I could not stop crying. I was like heaving, sobbing because I was just like, this it cannot be real. And the lady sat next to me, turned and looked at me really, really concerned. And all I could say was sorry between like these heaving sobs because I just couldn't like, I was
I
like,
understand.
my
I
driver
understand.
has just won the race and I was there and it was his first race
Since Coda
in
2024.
since Coda 2024, 2 years since he last won a race and I was there. So anyway, Charles Leclerc won the race and then it was George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, so double Brit podium for Silverstone, which is great. And then Lando Norris, Isaac Hadjar, Liam Lawson, Arvid Lindblad, Gabriel Bortoleto, huge, Franco Colapinto, huge, and Pierre Gasly. Um, yeah, we Oscar was 11th. Just gonna put this now. He did such a great recovery drive, though, I will
Let's talk
say.
about it because it
Let's
goes
talk
into
about it. And
the
then
restart.
also Kimi Antonelli ended 15th. Just
That's crazy. Okay,
that was crazy.
so
So,
race start.
yeah.
Not as much of a scramble as I thought there was gonna
No.
be.
Oh, race start. My dad was recording it, but he wasn't recording the screen, he was just recording the track. All you can hear is me screaming my head off at the Ferrari going 1-2. Just quick side thing. Continue.
Um, so this I've been upset about this since last week, and I probably will be upset about it. I did see there was like onboard footage, whatever. So I am watching. My mom is in the kitchen with me, which don't love that. Um, I'm watching the race start. I see Oscar humbling down the
Yep.
order. I thought this was like I I thought this was Baku 2025 again because for context, we
Yeah.
like literally in the start of Baku, you don't like you can't really d distinguish between the different drivers. I guess head on, you can see it more from a bird's eye view. But I had no idea that Oscar was in the wall until the TV direction switched to him in the wall. We didn't even know what happened to him until they got a replay of the race restart, then saw that he stalled the car. But anyway, long story short, I got flashbacks. But
Yep.
he apparently had contact with because he got sandwiched by the V carbs because Liam
Hmm.
Lawson was trying to do an overtake on him that was not going to work, and he cut Oscar off and damaged his wing.
Hmm.
First lap, like he had to limp around to the pits, and then I will never forget the feeling of seeing him in I don't even want to say it. I'm gonna whisper it. 21st place. It
Yep.
was so
He was
embarrassing.
behind the Aston
Oh my
Martins.
God. I almost turned the race off and
Hmm.
like went to my room to cry on my pillow. It was so bad. And then like nothing really happened to the point where I was thinking about the French onion dip from Publix I had left at my friend's house all day until about lap what 48 out of or 58 out of 62, something like that.
Mm.
But yeah, seeing Oscar I can't even say it again. Seeing Oscar
Pier 21.
Yes.
I will say, because obviously I was there live watching every time they came around, watching him get closer and closer and closer to the Astons was so good though. Because obviously I
Yeah.
like can't you can tell when you're watching on TV, but when you're like only seeing them once a lap and you're seeing them in front of you, you can genuinely see the gaps like diminishing.
Yeah.
And then there was one where he came round and he was like in front of one of them, and then he was in front of both of them, and then he kept going in front of like everyone. So it was such an incredible recovery drive, and it was really, really cool to watch. Um,
P21 to P11. And that's
yeah,
for everybody who said that he's never had to do a recovery drive before. I know my
yeah,
goat.
that was an
The
incredible drive.
the other thing is that he had to box like two more times because I
Mm,
think I don't remember if he had like a puncture or had something else wrong with his wing, but he
mm,
had to box an additional time to fix the wing even further. So he would have been in the points had he not had to
yeah,
pit that extra time.
yeah, he would have
You can't say anything but goat. I'm sorry,
been.
but that it
Ollie,
was rough. I'm gonna
yeah,
say.
yeah. Ollie also had a shunt with Alex
Oh yeah,
on
at like the very
lap
beginning.
one
Hmm.
in front of me
In
because
front
he
of
did
you?
it because it was at Brooklands and I can from where I was sat on Luffield I could see Brooklands really really clearly. It's like
Hmm.
the two corners it did the S like it was Brooklands Luffield.
Yeah.
That's what I could see. So it was literally that runoff right in front of me. Like
Oh my
that corner
gosh.
runoff that Ollie went wide and we were like what? So that was like directly in front of me. So then
Wow.
he did a good recovery drive for the car that he was in. Like for
Hmm.
considering he went from I don't remember where he went from. But like far down, then managed to finish I think like 13th or
That's not
something.
bad, especially in that
Yeah,
Haas.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
He finished 12th. He was behind Oscar, and they both had similar lap one
Yeah. Wow.
instance, like injuries, whatever. So
That's really impressive.
it was a very, very good recovery drive from him as well.
Hmm.
Especially considering the car that he was in. And then yeah, nothing really happened. I don't know. George got a slow puncture, which everyone is kind of just assuming was from the Lego race.
That's crazy.
Um, which is so funny to me that Lego does the exact same thing to cars as it does to people's feet. Um, the Lego race, oh my God, was so funny. I still need to watch the video that they've recently put out that's like all of the like onboard
Hmm.
stuff in air quotes because it's so funny. But that was really fun to watch because they did also cut left field corner, so we just saw them go across the
Oh.
grass. It was great. Um, and yeah, watching Charles lead, like net lead the entire race, better than anything ever. And I'm so serious. Every time, also the atmosphere in our grandstand, every time Lewis came around the corner, the cheers that erupted,
I could hear
fantastic.
it. I could hear it on the
Yeah,
actual like stream. It was insanely loud. Like at some points you couldn't even hear Alex Jakes. Like it was
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. The British crowds went insane every time he went past. Um, And then yeah, because we watched him overtake George twice. One of them ended up being the swap back that they did on the
Mm.
straight, but the second one where he stayed in front of him, both times the cheers that erupted, fantastic. I recorded one of them and all you can hear is me screaming. That's all you can hear. But yeah, the entire atmosphere of the race was just fantastic. And then you get Max into the wall at Lando stand, Stowe corner, all
That's
places.
that's really, 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 really funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, it was quite funny when I realized it was Lando Stand. But him into the wall because of his rear wing,
Mm.
they said. Um,
And then wait,
then caused,
something else to note about Max's race is that he
yeah,
was fighting with George, and he was fighting George pretty hard. They were like going back and forth, and George got the measure of him. And the funniest part about all of it is that he got in front of him for like the third or fourth time, stayed ahead, and then immediately dove into the pits. Like he wasn't
yeah,
even doing it for track position. He was just doing it for the love of the game, and
he was
he
doing
it was
it.
pretty good overtaking.
It was really good fighting, and then you just
Hmm.
watch George peel into the pits,
It
and you're
was
just like, all right,
so funny.
what the hell, sure. But then yeah, so Max actually had a really decent race.
He did.
Um,
He was in
and
the podium
then
places.
He was. And I was hoping it would be a Ferrari 1-2 and Max. I was hoping for that. And then lo and behold, he crashes into Stowe Corner and the safety car comes out and we finish behind said safety car because it was on like lap. It was
It
like five
was,
laps to the end,
yeah, 5 laps
which
to
I've
go, and then four full laps with the safety car. And then wait, I have a question. This is
yes.
actually something that I've been wondering about this entire time. Did you guys have a screen in front of you? Or were they like
It was like
radio
to the right.
broadcasting? Oh,
There
okay.
you could get free radios if you're an Amex member,
Yeah.
which we aren't. But no, we had a screen to like the right of us. It was like behind the Brooklands GA bit, but there was speakers
Mm.
around as well. So even if you couldn't see,
Oh,
you could hear the
okay.
commentary.
Hmm.
So I was like between watching the track and watching the screen, which was similar to what I did in Barcelona. And then so we could see everything. So we saw and obviously heard the safety car in this lap message.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That I think was the main problem with this whole situation.
Yeah.
I am of the general opinion that if they hadn't have announced that it was going to come in and then it just stayed out, people wouldn't have been nearly as angry as they were
Oh, yeah.
about it
100%.
because you promised these people that have paid
A one lap shootout.
£100 a one lap shootout, which I was kind of also stressed about because I was hoping because I wanted Lewis back in P2 because he's now been on
Mm,
both ends of this safety car final lap shenanigans because he didn't
yeah.
pit in Abu Dhabi 2021 and got
Hmm.
shafted, and then he did pit in Silverstone 2026, and then they didn't do the last lap shootout, which I understand why Ferrari did it. Like it makes sense. If there would have
Yeah.
been, then he would have had fresh tires and George didn't.
Hmm.
And there's every chance that George also would have pitted and then would have done the same thing that Max did to him in 2021. So like I
Yeah.
get it. When they said they were going to do the shootout, I did get excited. I was like,
I did
yes,
too. I was like slapping
fantastic.
my
This will
couch.
be
I was like, let's
amazing.
go.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then Bertmeilander didn't go into the pits and everyone was very,
Everyone
very
was
confused.
flabbergasted.
Everyone
I
was
literally yelled at
confused.
my TV.
Yeah, we all yelled and we all like booed and we were like, literally, what is happening here? Like and then I was like, wait, hang on a minute.
And
This wins for
then,
sure. And then all that happened. And Charles won. But yeah, I do think their main issue with it is that had they not said safety car in this lap, people would have been annoyed because it's like an anticlimactic ending,
yeah,
whatever. But they wouldn't have been angry because they wouldn't have been promised something and then had it taken away from them,
yeah.
which is the main issue that they came up with. And their excuses were the way they excused the
It
way they
was a
handled it.
software glitch.
It's like,
Really?
no, it's not. You
Right.
just pushed a button thinking you could do it and then realized no, you had actually not done what you said. Because I think Oscar was the last car to unlap himself,
Yeah.
but he crossed the line after Charles had. So it meant
Oh.
that they didn't have a full lap
Hmm.
free, because they hadn't done it in time because they'd said it too late. So it was completely on the like
Yeah,
FIA
on
and
the race
stewards just
director.
not being on the race director just not being quick enough, basically. And then saying we'll do it and then not doing it. Um, that I think is their main issue with this whole safety car
Yeah.
thing. Because I don't mind if a race finishes behind the safety car. That's the
No.
rules.
Yeah.
And they also
Like
kind of
Canada
shot
last
themselves.
year.
Yeah, and they also kind of shot themselves in the foot with Abu Dhabi by contradicting themselves with their excuses.
I cannot. I every single time I think about Abu Dhabi
The
2021, I get
fact
mad.
the fact that Christian Horner was like everyone's gonna forget about it in like 2 years and we're like
Unbelievable.
5 years on and it's the first thing that gets brought up when we have a race and under the safety car like
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that was their main issue and it was such a good race and we also haven't covered Kimi finishing 15th
Oh,
instead of
that's right.
like first because he would have overtaken Charles 100%. Like he was catching him like a shark going for dinner. Like it was
Yeah.
terrifying and I was so ridiculously stressed. So I did cheer when his car broke. Very
Oh,
sorry, Kimmy.
absolutely.
However, that my driver won, so thank you. Um, but yeah, so his car broke. It was the shield, the wheel
The
shield
wheel,
that
yeah.
just
I saw
snapped,
they played a slow-mo and it was like it was there and then it
just went
like
sideways.
bent in. And I mean,
Yeah.
aerodynamically,
Yeah, it's
you're
not.
screwed.
Yeah. It was not gonna help. But I think it was because he was properly riding the curves.
Yeah, he
They
was
went
going
it
over the
when
curbs. He was going over the curbs and then the bouncing like jostled it and something broke
Yeah,
and
because it was
then
the
that's what
serrated
covered it up.
curbs as well. So it was
Mm-hmm.
like the
Yeah.
harsh curbs that Silverstone have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so his car broke, and then I will admit I did admire his resilience to consistently stay out for a single point. However, he then didn't get any anyway because he got track limits about 7 times.
That was really
So
funny.
yeah, like I admire Kimmy, but I was kind of just telling him to retire the car. Like I was screaming at the screen, being like,
Yeah.
"Just retire it, buddy. Just
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 put the
give up."
DNF in the bag, bro.
Yeah, just put the DNF in the bag. But yeah, so that was really fun to watch because
And
it
then
was like a
he
safe DNF. I
mhm.
like it when cars just give up and they're not my driver's cars. Because then my driver does really, really well and wins his first race in 2 years while I'm there. Ferrari, give me season tickets because every race I've been to, you have won.
I
I'm so
think
serious. I've been to 2 races and they've won both of them. Just
yeah.
saying.
I think also the craziest part was just watching Kimmy tumble down the order.
Yeah.
I'm I'm surprised that he didn't get a penalty for driving the car in an unsafe manner because he was going really slow at some points. Like I thought he was going to pull over on the curb and like fully
Can I
DNF.
also can I
Hmm.
also say Mr. Kimi Antonelli only got 5 seconds. Mr. Charles Leclerc got 20 in Monaco. In Miami, even.
That was
So,
okay. So we were driving home from like we were unbelievably hot, unbelievably sweaty. We had just
mhm.
spent all day at the racetrack for the with the promise of rain. The race moved forward because they said it was going to rain, and then it just didn't. So that was another aspect to all this. And we were in the car with friend of the pod Tally,
Mhm.
and we kept getting like the F1 notifications because like Max got a penalty and then Charles had already gotten a penalty, but then it came out like the document spot on Twitter said that he had been summoned for another thing, and they said Tally said Charles got another penalty, and I mean obviously I was driving so I couldn't see, but we were all like, what
Yeah.
was it? And they read it out and they literally like threw their heads down and threw their phone down and put their head in their hands because it was 20 seconds. But
I was so mad after that race, but I'm just saying, Kimi basically had the exact same problem. He couldn't turn the car and
yeah,
he got 5 seconds.
mm-hmm,
Why
yeah.
did Charles get 20? Because Kimi was doing the exact same thing. He was also
Hmm.
gaining an advantage because
I
he was
remember that.
cutting
Hmm.
corners. What are we doing here? Anyway, vindication, he won. And now he is the last Ferrari driver to win a race. So
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I'm very happy. And I have not cried that hard in a very long time. And yeah, sorry to the lady sat next to us because I was genuinely like loudly sobbing.
I remember seeing
Because
the
I just
picture
I
you posted, and the entire time when Charles went, I was like, "Is Robin okay?"
everyone I know because I'm in a 481 group chat because obviously I still love Lando and Oscar, so and like they're
My
really good friends now.
Shayla's.
Yes, Shayla's exactly. And everyone was messaging in there being like, is Robin okay? Is Robin alive? Like everyone I knew was just like, girl, how are you feeling? And I was like, I can't stop crying. Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, and then track
What a
inversion.
4 or 5 lap finish, though.
Oh,
Wow.
it wasn't, yeah. It was great. But I do wish we could have had that shootout because
Hmm.
then I we could have gotten a Ferrari 1-2. We were so close to a Ferrari 1-2. Oh my God, and then Lewis almost got a penalty
Yes, for
and
the yellow
almost lost
flag
the
infringement.
podium for the
Oh
yellow
my
flag
God.
infringement. He got reprimanded instead because I think they get like 3 warnings basically for
Yeah.
whatever it was. No, I know exactly what it was because his dash had yellow flags.
Mm.
The flag pole, like the screen in front of him, was green, and
Oh.
the reason they excused it was because he ahead of him where you're going to be looking because you rarely look at your like dash, right? Because you're
Hmm.
driving a like they know kind of where everything is. They do look down at it, but not like nearly as much as they see the poles. And he had literally just overtaken Max. So he was looking at
Mm.
his in his wing mirrors to make sure he wasn't about to get re-overtaken by Max. So that was why they excused it, because it was like you aren't looking at your dash. The thing in front of you says green, and you're looking behind you anyway.
Mm.
So that was why he didn't get the penalty. But I do remember seeing Lando fans celebrating really early, thinking they were going to get a podium, and then everyone would be like, "Well, not quite." So I did get my double Ferrari podium though, and George. So I was very, very, very happy. And finally got to hear the Monegasque and Italian national anthems, which is just whimsy and joy personified
No, I was gonna
together
say the Monaco
again.
anthem is it's pretty
They're
fun.
both so joyful, and I love both anthems. So I was very happy. And also seeing all the Ferrari mechanics singing along like usual. Amazing. Was very, very happy with that. So yeah, very, very fun day. Very great weekend.
Hmm.
And yeah, I I'm gonna accept that I'm Ferrari's lucky charm and they should give me season tickets.
It's going straight to your head.
It is. It's going well, I've been to like the only two races ever,
Yeah.
and Lewis wins his first, and then Charles wins for the first time in 2 years. And it's like, well, in a track that
Mhm.
he has never been good at or has never been good to him.
Some would even
So
say
I
he was
was like,
cursed.
some would even say he was cursed. This man, oh my God, his luck. Ridiculous. However, I will take it. And I was very
Hmm.
happy. And I did love that race. So, with Silverstone done and dusted, the next race is Spa-Francorchamps, which I'm very excited for because it is my favorite track. I'm scared
Love me
that
some
it's gonna
spa.
be kind of depressing because Oscar's also said it's quite sad with the new regs. So I'm curious to see what it's gonna be like, but I'm hoping it'll be good anyway. And it's gonna be my
Yeah.
favorite track regardless. So
Oh, wait, speaking of spa, there are not one, not two, not three, but five straight mode zones.
yes!
How crazy is that?
Ferrari Joy, it was nice knowing you. Never gonna see you
Yeah.
again. Um,
Oof.
but we have our predictions for
Yes, we
the
do.
Belgium Grand Prix. So I will go first. My pole position, I am putting George Russell. Again, I think I keep putting him there. And then P3, we'll do that first. I'm going Oscar because I would love to see him on the podium at Spa because it's his favorite race and I just want him to
Please,
do
I'll
well, for
cry.
God's sake, please. And then P2, I have Lewis, and P1, I have George. I would like the Italian menace Kimi to stop winning things, please. As much as I love him, he is in the way. So, my predictions. Go, yours.
All right, my predictions. You're gonna be shocked. So for pole, I also have put George Russell. He's very good
Yep.
around here. He has won it before, but before his win was stripped away.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So hopefully this will bring some more luck in.
Fingers crossed.
So my podium, P3, Lando.
All
Lando
right.
was very good around here last year. I hope, fingers crossed, that he will be good around here again. Second place, I'm putting my close personal friend George Russell because you're gonna be shocked by who I have winning. P1, yet again, you're gonna be shocked, appalled, flabbergasted. Oscar Piastri. He's winning,
Never would have
and I
guessed.
have in my bingo card, I have Oscar Piastri win Spa because I need to see him
Oh my God.
happy.
I finally got bingo
Oh,
because
you
one of my
did!
the one I needed to get bingo was Charles win. Because
I have to check mine actually.
I put that in because I was like delusional that we'd get the car and it worked out and I got bingo from it. Fantastic. Anyway,
Wow.
that was just a side thing that I remembered about, yeah.
But yes, Oscar Piastri will win Spa because I said.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And my word is gospel. Thank you very much.
Yes, exactly. And then the last little bit are double DNF. I have three people not finishing the race. What about you?
I have five people. I know I've gone a little crazy the past couple weeks. Said I think 6, and then 7. I will not make the joke.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna
VCAR
temper
Badminton
my.
did that.
They did.
I saw
Um,
that post and just sighed. I love them.
Gen Z ass team.
Yep.
Um, but I think 5 is a good number because also wait, what's the weather for Spa?
I think it's supposed to rain. I
Thank
hope it rains.
God.
I
Wait.
really hope it rains.
Oh,
Spa, be
Frank
your usual
Corchon
self, please. For the
weather
love of God,
this
rain.
weekend. I'm asking Dr. Google.
Okay, okay. I think I saw it was supposed to rain.
Friday it's supposed to rain. Oh,
Hmm.
Sunday it's supposed to be 64 degrees is the high. It's supposed to
Oh,
be cloudy. Wait,
okay.
I'm
I
gonna
just need it
ask.
to lock in and be Spa.
Please, we haven't gotten a wet race this year, and I love a wet race.
I love wet races. I was hoping Silverstone would rain. I was like genuinely
Oh,
praying
no.
for rain.
It said Sunday on this website that it's gonna rain
Oh, fingers crossed.
and the track is gonna be cold.
Oh, fingers crossed. I hope so.
Ooh.
I love Spa in the rain.
Yes.
When it
Yes.
races, obviously.
Yeah.
Also, on that, it's Spa weekend was my first live on television race that I ever watched.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Like this month is my 1 year of being a Formula
Wow.
One fan. And I snowboard so quickly into the sport. It's
Yeah,
actually quite ridiculous.
it really sneaks up on you.
Yeah. I know a ridiculous amount of knowledge
Yeah.
on a sport that I didn't care about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny how that happens.
hmm
But yeah, also I didn't watch my race, rewind, because
I watched, I think half of it, and then I got distracted doing something.
okay.
So we're gonna
I
shove
went
that
to a
to,
friend's birthday party instead, but I had
yeah.
to travel down to Devon for that, so
Ooh,
forgot. Yeah, so we will do
next time.
them and a double header on the double header of Belgium and Hungary because I am in fact graduating the
Yay
week
for
after.
degrees!
Yippee! I am in fact graduating the Wednesday after Spa, so I won't
Wow.
have time to edit this to get it out in time. So,
And
unfortunately, we will have to do a double header for the double
yeah.
header, but we will get it done.
And speaking of Spa, we are scheming to potentially be
We
at
are.
Spa next year.
We are.
There's a lot of ifs, ands, buts, a lot of things that have to fall into
I'm
place
going.
before that
I
happens.
don't care. I will be at that race.
Because it's
I
also
don't care.
it's the last year before it becomes a rotational track.
It's
Ridiculous
the first
decision, by
of
the
its
way.
rotational years, but it's like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, but it's yeah, before it
Still
ends up
crazy.
actually becoming 20, like 2 years,
hmm
it's technically the first one because Barcelona isn't on next year because Spa's on next year.
Oh, so stupid.
I know, I don't
Um,
like it.
yeah.
So I am going to do everything in my power to get to that race. Um,
Ditto.
yeah. So we are planning that with also a bunch of other with a group of other people.
Yay,
Who
friends!
yay friends and you have new friends now because
Yay,
it's kind of
I
just
do have new
like
friends.
collated a group of my friends that all want to do it from like different groups. So that's fun. But yeah, we will do all of the rest of the stuff and a double header after the double header.
Yay!
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Double DSQ. You can find us on every social platform at the Double DSQ, and you can also email us at the Double DSQ pod@gmail.com with any queries, questions, opinions, whatever.
We have them.
We have them, yeah. And if you want to give us yours to talk about, go for it. Yeah, thank you again, and we will see you out on track.